All right, so I'm gonna share a little bit of information in regards to sound switch. I am using the latest version, which is 2.8.2.5, which I just barely got wind to this earlier today. And one of the issues that I was having, which I am grateful, and I wish I would have had, the time earlier to go through all this. My There's a lot of programs, including Serato, that use like a lot of memory, a lot of RAM and stuff like that, storage. Even though my laptop's a Dell Precision 5750 is like almost $5,000. Um, I tweaked this out so I was able to utilize it for my DJing usages. So I can run a lot of stuff at once without any hiccups. I have 64 gigs of RAM in it, for the video and all that. And this is the only downfall. But I have my 1 terabyte Samsung, which will replace this, which I'm going to have this done probably within a month or so, and have it installed here to take this place. And this will be like either a secondary, or I don't know. I think I can actually put 4 terabytes worth of memory into this, if I'm not mistaken. But before I did what I'm about to explain to you, what I did, which, what I did now uh, allowed me to have a little bit more space. When I was coming up here and I was checking this, earlier, I was doing auto scripting some of my music files to the point that all of this space right here was taken up, and this was at zero. So I had no more free space. So what I did, I ended up going up here because I mean, obviously, everything in my music folder was, what was causing the whole deal. So even my engine library, when I ran a check on it, everything's like regular, it's normal. So the only thing that was taking up space at that time was Sound Switch. I'm probably gonna put Serato back in here, even though I don't utilize Serato too much compared to Virtual DJ. But if I do Serato, I'm probably gonna do the same thing I did with this deal for Sound Switch. So you would come to your main drive, which for me happens to be the C drive. Click on it. You don't know how to do it. I mean, I'm gonna real time it right quick. Click on it. You'll go to your program files. Then you will go and scroll down. For me, well, it's going to be right here, Sound Switch. You right click on it, your properties would show up, and then it would let you know how much space it's going to actually take or whatever, right? So this is how much it was showing here, right? And then I went even further, and this is the main one that I'm using, for my venue. And this is actually taking up the majority, the bulk of it. You see how it's almost nine gigs. If you go to the whole deal here, it's just under 11 or 12 gigs or something like that. Okay, so then this was actually at 30 or 35, something like that. It was a lot. So you will go down here, go to advanced, and then this menu will pop up. And then this is when I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and compress this. So, I put on here compress, to save space on it. And then you would hit OK, and then you would hit apply, and then it would do it. I'm not gonna do it right now because I mean it takes about an hour for everything that I had on there. But that's what you can do to actually save you some space on your actual drive, which would be memory, and it would also include RAM, I believe. And that will open up a lot to where my laptop can actually breathe a little bit. Like I said, I mean, this is going to be changed out. Originally, it's like a 250 or yeah, 220. Um, Memory on my drive, the program drive, which I'll be replacing with the Samsung 1 terabyte, or maybe a two. I don't know. So If y'all are not familiar with SoundSwitch is a lighting program which I came to find this out because of my purchase way back in 2019, late 2019, after much awaited release of the Denon Prime 4, which should have been released early that year in 2019. And SoundSwitch is a lighting software where you can auto script, or you can build them up on your own. And it opens up just another tool for us DJs to be able to use. And it's compatible with a whole array of different lighting fixtures, fog machines, and I don't know what else you can actually do with it as of yet. Just those two types of deals, lights and fog machines. I have 6 terabytes worth of music. And you have to run it and analyze it through engine lighting software. Engine OS, which if you have anything that's Denon DJ or in music brand products, more than likely you're gonna end up having to take those steps. The reason that you have to analyze it through engines, it'll help SoundSwitch, build the whole library, because if you don't run it and you don't do what you have to do in the collections tab, within engine, which actually that's how you use to set up all your folders. You can actually manipulate all these folders and change the names, whatever you want to do. And it'll build it. If you don't run it through engine, you'll never see these here. So SoundSwitch will basically kind of be useless, or you'll just run it as a on the fly type of deal, like you would with an analog machine. The beautiful thing about this is that you can actually pre-program everything to your liking, and you'll do some auto scripts or create your own personal light shows for every song, and this is what will come up. Obviously, you have to have everything DMX'd correctly, which this also helps you to do it. These are some of my lighting fixtures that I have, along with my On Tour Chill fog machine. And you can always manipulate these however you want as well. Bad thing is, with SoundSwitch right now, as it stands, as it has been, whenever you add or subtract any of these lighting fixtures or move them around, you will have to redo the auto scripting and the light shows all together, and I'm going to show you. So the reason I'm having to auto script all of my folders is because I just barely added this Eliminator striker beam to it. Which, they added it for me a while back, gave SoundSwitch all the information. They came back to me maybe about a week or two after the fact, and it was added on here. Obviously, there's a new tool where we can add it ourselves, I believe, on here. And, yeah, you can, because it tells you right here, production, public, local, whatever. So, and then right here, yeah, you can add your fixture. Just click on this and all that information is going to come up. But I'd rather let the pros handle it, which is, it's worked out for me, and I'm not going to change anything else. So once you've DMX all your stuff correctly, and like I said, the only thing I did was add the striker beam, where I just recently reached out to SoundSwitch in hopes that there's a way, whenever we add fixtures or if we move them around, that we don't have to redo all of our lighting shows. So I just barely redid 3 folders right now, and these are all, newly redone. As you can see here, there's my striker beam. Now I have a show created, for my striker beam. Again, I did it for another folder of mine, and again, there's my striker beam, there's the show. Okay. So let me see, I think this is the last one that I actually did just recently before doing this video. Yeah, sure enough, I got a show there for my striker beam. I've not done one for this one. They were all auto scripted. already. Some light shows were created, hence that's where you get the logo. In engine OS, when you go through the analyzing, this symbol is gonna appear and it'll have a dot, meaning that it's picking up, that you created a light show. So again, my striker beam, because it was newly added, it's gonna be added to all my folders, all the venues, but there's no light show. So I can either auto script just that one song, or I can choose to auto script the whole deal, which I'm gonna auto script the whole deal. So as of right now, I'm just gonna go ahead and redo this just for the sake of this video. I'm not gonna keep this deal there because I'm gonna do something different. But okay, so it already did this one. Okay, it already did this show. It did it with this style. Now, earlier we went down there and we saw my eliminator striker beam, and it didn't have a show. Now it has a show. So that's the fits to it. Now it says changes. Whenever you do your light shows and your auto script, you want to always press yes. If you don't, it's not going to save it. I don't want to save that, so it's going to revert back to what I had prior. I believe it should. Let's see. I would be surprised. Well, it's still on there. I don't know why it's on there. It shouldn't have saved it. But in my case, I'm going to go ahead and auto script the whole deal all over again. This will come up. It would always advise you whether you have a show or not. If you want to keep it, you can tell it to override it. It'll skip some of the other ones. I'm going to go ahead and just say it to go ahead and analyze and redo the whole deal. I was using this prior. Now you can select more than one, whereas before you couldn't. You can set them for like the ones that are for low BPM, so it's gonna be right on point. For this particular folder, I'm gonna probably just do one preset. You don't want, maybe a dynamic. You can mix them. And once you do that, you just apply, and it'll start doing all the shows for you. Depending how long the folder is, how big, that'll determine how long it's actually gonna take. So once it starts, it's pretty rapid. Like I said, my computer's running this kind of a processor, and it's not too slow, but it gets the job done. I have an extensive library, which is a little over 6 terabytes worth of music, which I can actually prove to you here. This is my drive there, and that's what we're at right now. It's normally 8 terabyte, but I'm not gonna fill it to the 8. And a lot of people would always ask, hey, what's the whole point of all the music? I've been doing this since the 80s. I had 3 decades worth of vinyl that was collected between the 80s and 2011. That's when all my DJ stuff and my vinyl collection was stolen from me. So I started from scratch, literally jumped into the digital DJ age, learning and mastering Serato and Virtual DJ within months of each other in 2019, and also mastering and learning about Sun Switch at the same time. And I believe it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. It's good for me, it's good for my clients, good for potential clients. And yeah, everything's working good. Everything's breathing. So once you're finished here, it's auto scripted, a few hundred songs. You'll go back here. It doesn't matter what you press. It's going to always bring you to this. I say yes, bam, save it. Now we'll go back and check. It's a totally different light show than what I had prior. and my striker beam's been at it. Again, I mean, we'll go to like some 80s. I only got a little bit on this folder, but trust me, I got a lot of 80s music. My striker beam was added to this, along with everything else. There's no deal for that. This one, it'll be quicker. I come up here. I do the adaptive, for the low. We'll do this second preset. The beauty of how Sound Switch has evolved is now there's like a lot of more options to utilize to be able to do whatever you want to your liking. For those that are like seriously into the beat grids, I mean, you can manipulate everything. Everything is good. So I'm gonna go ahead and save. Bam, I'll open this up again. It's the same song. My light show's been created. And there it is, my striker beam's been created. Now, FYI, if y'all didn't know, the only reasons that I think that you would end up having to have all of your light fixtures connected, this one's going to be a really, really long folder, so it's probably going to take me at least about a few hours, maybe something like that to do. You don't necessarily have to have the dongle or the control one connected. I just have my hard drive. I'm actually out at my other home in Mexico. Everything else is back home in Dallas, Texas. So you can do all this without anything being connected. And trust me, I've got videos on YouTube on that. Once you get to, your hardware and your lighting fixtures, and you don't even have to have all the lighting fixtures connected. It's just, it's the way that this program has everything set out. And it's such a beautiful program that a lot of people think that it's just plug and play. It's not plug and play. You have to learn a lot of this stuff. Nobody taught me. What really helped me out was at the time I was able to speak with a lot of people at SoundSwitch, at Den and DJ, even with the other, DJ related companies like Serato and Virtual DJ before COVID. You can actually speak to a human being. Your emails were gonna get answered rather quickly. Today it'll take me a little bit longer. The man at SoundSwitch that handles everybody's issues is Liam. He is the man. And there's a lot of people like Liam over there. So just have patience. Whenever you need something, hit them up, email them. And there's also some official groups that belong to SoundSwitch on Facebook, Instagram. I'm assuming all the other platforms. I only use Facebook to contact them and sometimes Instagram. But the emails do get answered and they do fix all your issues. But I figured I'd share some of that information in regards to saving you some space. And I'm testing this out right now because I already did it earlier, compressing it. And it's made a big difference because my number was really, really low. And that would cause issues with your computer blacking out on you. Because as soon as that number gets close to zero, even like my external hard drive, anything that you have, just because it says you have free space doesn't mean that you're going to use up everything. If anything here, I'll probably leave maybe half a terabyte before I quit working anymore on this drive. But I mean, that's all I got to share. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And thank you.